I don't know why I went to Will Smith there, but Kenny Wardell, big baseball guy, was talking to us about the Giants, and he went to 2 games over the weekend, including the Blake Snell start. And it's good. Maybe it's too little too late. Maybe it is. But you see who Blake Snell is.
Oh,
I think Giants fans in the first half of the season was like, oh, he's overrated or whatnot. No, this guy's legit. This guy is a baller.
Well, let's also recognize 2 good starts. One of those 2 is great. It was a great start.
Right.
Doesn't make you a great pitcher for this year.
No. This year's been a massive disappointment for Blake Snell. There's no.
But it was a great step forward.
It's a great step forward. But this guy, again, we've been discussing this, and I said, Giants fans, you need to be patient with this guy, considering what has happened with him. You look at his ERA lifetime in July, August, and September, and I think this is important, Giants fans. Lifetime in July, 2.49 ERA, all right? 1.31 whip, all right? Lifetime in August, 2.60 ERA, 1.105 whip, all right? Lifetime in September/October, 2.25 ERA, 1.03 whip. This guy gets better and better when it's money time. And so when it's money time right now for the Giants, as you look at what they're doing right now, I know more than Jordan Poole, man. Wow. Blast from the past. Blake Snell is a good pitcher, but the thing is, what Farhan said last week is, the players are going to dictate the direction I go. If they don't get their act right, I'm basically going to sell everybody off. Well, the Giants right now, 3 back of the wild card. And I'm just sure some cynic out there is like, well, they got to kind of pull 4 different teams. If you just handle your business and win games, you will get into that wild card spot, right? The Mets are up there 49 and 46. You got the Diamondbacks, you got the Padres, you got the Pirates. It is what it is. Some Giant fan out there said, hey, we're only 3 back of the wild card. Well, if you get on a run here, and I got Logan Webb and Blake Snell as my top 2 guys, then I get Robbie Ray in here. Maybe I'm setting the bar too high for Robbie Ray, but I'm feeling good about Robbie Ray. Now all of a sudden I'm saying to myself, I got 3 top-of-the-line starters who can give me at least 6 innings to start.
Yeah, so you're really hyper-focused on making a playoff run.
You know what? I think, listen, I'm hyper-focused because I think if I'm looking at it from Farhan's standpoint, there's no way he survives if they don't make the playoffs, right? There's no way Greg Johnson and this organization can bring back Farhan Zaidi back if they miss the playoffs, Shasky.
They gave him an extension. I don't know. I don't
even know what the extension is.
I don't either.
Do you know the details?
I don't.
2 more years after this year.
So I'm so emotionally detached from a quote-unquote playoff run. Not that I don't want a playoff run. Like, I'm here for that. I definitely. I'm more about big picture. And maybe I'm zooming too far out, B. But I'm looking at, like, you want to know what the biggest, best development of the first half was?
Ramos.
Had nothing to do with their record at all. Hell yeah, it was Elliott Ramos.
Yeah.
Elliott Ramos has been one of the best Giants rookies since Buster Posey, number 1. And number 2, he came out of nowhere, right? And I don't really care about whether it was in Farhan's master plan or not. When Brock Purdy became the guy, this is the way I view it. You get credit when you pivot, and then now we're empowering. Pivot and empower, right? So to me, sometimes sports, things happen. You think this guy's going to be good. He's not. Then that guy ends up being good. Do you foolishly go back to the weaker player because of maybe, draft selection or nepotism or whatever the reasoning being? Or do you pivot? I think they deserve credit for pivoting to Ramos.
They do. Here's my thing. This is why I'm hyper-focused on the playoffs, Shasky. Because for the last 3 years, where Lubman says, hey, their record is 207 and 214 since the start of 2022. Every time we've done this show, talking about the Giants, whether it's 2022, 2023, or right now. We've been talking long-term forever.
I know.
Kyle Harrison, wait till he comes up. Marco Luciano, wait till he comes up. Luis Matos Ramos, wait till they come up. Patrick Bailey, Hunter Bishop, wait till they come up. Well, I'm tired of waiting.
Yeah, but I'm
tired of
Ramos.
waiting. Finally,
and Bailey.
Think what it took. And I don't care how the process works because Dave Lee got hurt to open the door for Draymond Green. We see this in football all the time. Guys get hurt, you take advantage of your opportunity, and you go on and move on, and you don't look back. So Ramos he's become an all-star, and he hasn't looked back at all.
I think he's the best player.
Best player by far.
Of the everyday players.
Patrick Bailey's got an argument, too.
Although you could say Chapman.
You could say Patrick Bailey. I like Patrick Bailey, what he's done here.
I do too.
But I'm tired of looking long-term, saying, what's the long-term picture? I don't have time to wait anymore on Farhan Zaidi. And when you come out there and when you say what you said last week, talking about we're going to have to sell if we don't start playing better. And then pivot off of what you told Susan Slusser a couple months ago saying, stakes are high. We got to get to the playoffs. And then when we get Flim on, hey, Flim, does the expectation change now that we're playing the young guys? Nope. We got to go to the playoffs. I need playoffs, Shasky. I'm tired of watching this team flame out after 162. I'll worry about the offseason when the offseason comes around. For this team right now, I need them to get healthy, and I need them to make a damn run at this thing.
But I'm
sorry.
But I'm looking at this team, I'm like, Chapman, Soler, Wilmer Flores, Lamont Wade Jr., Conforto. All of these guys are like short-timers with the Giants. I'm looking big picture.
It's been like that for the last 3 years,
I don't want to sound like the regular season is irrelevant. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, as a Giants fan, we've been waiting so long for a run, right? When I mean a run, I mean like a young core that we can build and move forward with. And right now, I'm just saying, I think even though it's only been 60 games, okay, I think Ramos is a part of that. Check. That's one of 8 guys, everyday players.
Patrick Bailey?
I think Patrick Bailey is a part of that.
Okay, cool.
Check. That's 2 of 8 players. That's a quarter of my everyday team that I know next year is a part of something and can have a 4-year window, let's just say, a 3-4-year window. Let's just go from there, right? Like Chapman, I want Chapman to be here for the next 3 or 4 years. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to stick around. Well, I think he's one of their best players.
Is that the worst thing in the world, though? Some of these guys opt out and free up some of this money? Because Soler signed for 3 years, correct?
Yeah, I don't think there's any opt-out.
No, it's not a great deal at all. Not a great deal at all right now.
But for every Soler, and believe me, that's not a great signing. Chapman is a good signing.
He is a good signing.
Chapman's been a really good player.
Chapman's been fine.
And then, so what I'm saying is, like, I'm taking the long approach. Jung-Hoo Lee to the side, because I don't know what the heck to make it. Played 37 games. I don't know what to make it.
And it wasn't pretty.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm here to tell you it wasn't pretty.
But I'm looking at him like, Ramos, player. Okay. Outfielder, homegrown. It came in a weird way. He's here. He's been awesome. Bailey, behind the plate. The most important thing when you're building a team, you got to have a catcher. Show me a great dynasty in baseball, and I'm not saying that the Giants are a dynasty, but they all had a great catcher. Veritek, Posada, Yogi Berra, Johnny Bench, Buster Posey, Yadier Molina. Like, just go through the history of the game. You got to have a great catcher. It's no doubt about it. Well, they got catcher and they got an outfielder. Now, we're a long way away, but I can see the makings of a team.
You're talking about long term here. I got a question for Giants fans then. 888-957-9570. If you're concerned about the long term, give us a call right now. Or do you want to see this team go all in on the playoff run right now? See, because I'm tired of waiting, Shasky. Tomorrow's not promised. What Shanahan say a couple years ago? I mean, might not be alive on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong at all. So, you know what I'm saying? So,
possibly.
It's possible, right? But all I'm saying is, I can't wait for 2025. I can't wait for 2026. I need to now. And right now, this league is vulnerable. The Braves, they're selling themselves right now.
Nobody has pitching.
They've lost pitching. They lost Ronald Acuna Jr. The Cardinals, they're okay. They're okay.
Nobody believes in them.
Exactly. The Mets, do you really believe in the Mets?
They've been pretty hot.
They've been hot. But do you believe in them?
No.
The Arizona Diamondbacks. You have to give them credit because they went on a run last year and they made the World Series. And their guys are starting to get hot and get rolling.
Well, and they had 6 or 7 key injuries.
Right.
To the pitching staff in particular.
San Diego, 50-49. They're inconsistent too.
I know.
And we know the Padres flame out. So this league, right now in the National League, when I look at the Giants, I'm saying to myself, okay, I got Blake Snell pitching now. Blake Snell's looking like the Blake Snell I signed. $30 million, whatever it is. It's been a total bust, but you know what? The guy can redeem himself with a great second half of the season. And so far, he's on the right track, having 2 monster starts this past week. I think these are important for Blake Snell. Now he goes to the break. Catches his breath, throws on the side. He's going to be ready to roll in Colorado. I got Logan Webb coming off that disastrous start against the Toronto Blue Jays. You already know Logan Webb's going to bounce back. He's gassed. He needs a break.
He's carried this entire pitching staff all year.
So what I'm saying is, Shasky, I don't care if he did sign an extension. How many coaches and GMs we see sign extensions? And they give, Monty Williams, I know it's a different sport. Yeah. Monty Williams got fired after, what was that, 1 year. He's getting paid $65. Crazy, right? So Farhan can go. If I'm Farhan Zaidi, I can't wait for 2025.
But if I'm running the team, like let's say I'm the ownership, I'm saying like look, I know it's been ugly, all right, in terms of like marketing the team and whatnot. You got Ramos. I can't believe I'm here, by the way. I can't believe I'm over here like defending this, but it's the truth. I'm watching the Futures game yesterday. I got Ramos, I got Bailey. These are all my big league club. And I got this Futures game going on. I don't know if people paid attention. Bryce Eldridge, who was just drafted, 19 years old, batted cleanup for the National League. Now he went 1 for 2 in the game. He's a stud. He is flying through the minors. He will be here. I don't know when. I know you're going to say, Joe, this isn't 2026. And he's going to come up. Like their farm is turning it around a little. I'm seeing some fruit on the trees. As critical as I've been, I can kind of see where this thing's going. Do I love the overall job that he's done?
Yeah.
No. But do I think that making the playoffs salvages everything? No. You know what salvages it? Ramos sticking and Matos having a great second half and Hayden Birdsong and Kyle Harrison proving that they can be 2 and 3 in my rotation for next year or 3 and 4 in my rotation for next year, depending on what happens with Blake Snell. Can Camilo Duvall get back to where he was? Something's going on there.
But see, here's where I'm at, though. This is why I want them to go all in on this season. And just go to the crap table and go all in. Or if you're playing Texas Hold'em, you say, hey, I'm all in. I'm pushing my chips on the table. Because I need these youngsters playing in big-time playoff games. I need to play in high-stakes games in September. I can't go into September, Shasky, knowing that they're 10 games out of a wild card spot, saying, oh, well, they're getting that bad, so they're getting represented. I need them playing in games that matter. Yeah, because I need to see if these guys can matter in October.
You're talking about Ramos and Bailey.
I'm talking about all these guys.
Well,
all these guys.
They're not going to play Matos.
And to your point, too, about Bryce, and I get why you're excited about Bryce.
I know. It sounds crazy.
No, it doesn't. But I could sit back here and say, that was the same excitement everybody had for Luciano.
Well,
that's the same excitement everybody had for Casey Smith. That was the same excitement everybody had for Hunter Bishop. That's the same excitement I've heard about all these youngsters here. So I'm tired of being excited about what could be. I need the actuality. I need the reality here. And the reality is the pitching needs to get better, but it is attainable to get into these playoffs. If you're Greg Johnson, and you say the things that you said now, because if you start selling Shasky, now you got everybody going back on their word. Now you got everybody going back on their word lying to us.
Well, no, I think it's also just assessing where you are. Like, let me ask you, is the time to go, quote unquote, all in now? Or is it probably when you have more of your core playing at the highest level all at one time?
Well, depending on what you trade, right? Depending on what you trade. You may not need to trade anything, but I'm not trading Bryce, right? But Hunter Bishop, who hasn't been up in the majors yet, and Luciano, if I can get me a bat, like first base,
so
for
you're
example.
Just giving up on Luciano?
Absolutely. For Pete Alonso or Vlad Jr., I do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but you have a first baseman in the minors who's tearing it up.
Okay, so he can play DH.
And he's going to be under team control for 6 years.
But I have Vlad Jr. DH. It's all good.
It's true.
And I can move off of Soler if I need to.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? For pennies on the dollar. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm a prospect out. I'm tired of hearing about what can happen in the future with this team when I've been hearing the same conversation since 2022. I got to go now and get to the playoffs. If I'm Farhan, if I'm Greg Johnson, if I'm Fleming, I'm all these guys that's talked all this talk about, hey, it's all about the playoffs. That is the goal. We have to get there because anything can happen because we just saw what happened with the Diamondbacks last season. That may be false. That may just be delusional. But I can't go through another year, Shasky, of playing meaningless baseball in the month of September. That's not how you grow this fan base. That's not how you get Richie Rich and his kids to go to the ballpark. They need to see big games at the Yard.
I know. Like,